Hmm. Good evening, all students. Can you hear me well? Good evening to all you. Am I audible?
Good evening, madam. Yes.
Yeah, because your response is very important when we are doing the lectures online because I'm talking to the machine and you listen via machine. So it is very important to your responses also. Anyway, now today we are discussing one of the topics on the course on a business strategy in your degree program, master degree in professional accounting program. So then you follow the business strategy. Now I have to conduct two more topics, two more sessions. One is strategy implementation, other one is strategy review and control. Today we are coming to discuss strategy implementation. So you know that now I think when you come to this stage, you have studied the process of a strategic management, then step by step. Now then we are reaching to after having selected and evaluated and selected the best strategy, we put into practice. So it is needed to understand by managers how successfully implement the business strategy in organization. But theoretical understanding is very essential. Before starting today's discussion on a strategy implementation, I would like to just recall your memory what you have so far learned on the course on business strategy. Now you know that introduction, the very first topic, we understood the introduction to strategy and strategic management, key concepts understanding, and the necessary background knowledge. The second topic, we focused on the mind of the strategist. It means which kind of a approach is suitable in present day context. Mind of the strategist, there are two approaches which can be applied to managing the business strategy. One is planning approach, strategic planning approach. Other one is a strategic thinking approach. So I discussed these two approaches. It depends on which kind of environment organization is operating. But today I argue that both approaches are needed in successful strategy formulation, implementation, review, and control. So the third topic, actually from here, we discuss practical application of strategy, business strategy, managing the business strategy, then how manage in practice. So at that time, the first step is formulating a strategies, set in the future direction. Set in the future direction. I think I discussed these three topics. Setting the future direction, I discussed. Then it is reflected by vision, mission, goals, objectives. What are the factors influencing to set the vision, mission, goals, and objectives? And in detail, I discuss with practical examples the vision, mission, goals, and objectives. Then after that in practice, what it needs to achieve these vision, mission, goals and objectives, then we have to formulate the strategies. To formulate the strategies, not just sitting on the chair, managers, they have to engage in a detailed analysis. It is called as a strategic analysis. Strategic analysis. Strategic analysis is very essential before formulating a strategies. So fourth topic, I think Mr. Professor Ukmal discussed uh, strategic analysis. There are three analyses. Can you remember strategic analysis involve three analyses? One is internal environment analysis. I think fourth topic, giving the overview to the strategic analysis, internal environment analysis discuss. Internal environment analysis what gives strengths and the weaknesses. So I think you studied fourth topic, internal environment analysis, resources, competencies, strategic capabilities. You understood to finally determine the strengths and weaknesses. The fifth topic, it focused on external environment analysis. The strategic analysis, I mentioned you that three analysis: external environment analysis. I think Professor Ukmal discussed external environment analysis, the global environment within a country macro environment where the organization is operating, and also industry environment, competitors, then the market, customer analysis. You studied as external environment, but is because it is a very vast. I think maybe like a 2 sessions he discussed the external environment divided into several layers. Unlike internal environment, the external environment is very vast, scope is very wide. So 2 sessions, I think surely they had taken to discuss. The next topic, I think a strategic analysis. I mentioned you that three analyses: internal environment, external environment. Other analysis is stakeholder expectations analysis. Before formulating a strategy, organizations, managers, they need to concern about who are our key stakeholders and how to achieve their expectation. Now, as an example, if any organization couldn't achieve the owner's expectation, the organization can't be survived. Then the customer's expectation, employees' expectation, sometimes the society's expectation, government expectation. If they are unable to achieve their expectation, what may be happen? Then the strategy may be a fail. Organization may be fail. So, stakeholder expectations analysis. Then after that, I think surely Mr. Professor Ukmal discussed stakeholder expectations analysis, formulating strategies, corporate level and the business level. Corporate level and business level. Then after that, evaluation. Corporate level, business level. But for an organization, there are 4 levels in a large scale: corporate level, business level, functional level, and operational level. But at the postgraduate level, because of the time factor, we concern about the corporate and business level strategies in this course also. But you need to enhance your knowledge regarding functional level and the operation level. Then after that, even though we identified the potential strategic options, but all options can't be implemented. Why? Lack of resources. So out of possible or potential strategy alternatives, we have to select evaluation and select the one best strategy, one or two best strategies. Select one or two best strategies to implement. So you need to understand the theoretical understanding. I think all the things you so far discussed. And after that, I think you conducted the strategic forum 1 assessment. Today also I discussed the second assessment and giving to you. Then we discussed that how to submit the assignment and how to make the case analysis presentations. Then today we are coming to discuss the evaluate and select the best strategy, how it brings to practice, implementation. You heard about that in practice. Most of the strategies, even though a good strategy formulated, but when it comes to implementation, the strategy may be failed. So managers must concentrate about how to implement the strategy in a successful way, ultimately achieve the stated objectives, goals, the mission and the vision. Today, I am addressing implementation of a strategy. Next day, I discuss how to review and control. Time to time, review and control how far we could achieve the expected results from the strategy. So these are the things actually you have to study on the course on business strategy, then cover up the semester. Now, as you understood that strategy implementation we are coming to discuss. It is very important in managing the business strategy in organization. Now, in discussing a strategy implementation, you have already known that what does it mean? The process by which strategies are put into action. How a strategy bring into practice. Then the involved process should be understood well and practiced to get the maximum results. Then you are going to understand the theoretical understanding how implement a strategy in a successful way. Then contents. Actually, this topic I focused on these things. Then the one thing is, first you need to understand the most of the organization what kind of a problems and issues face. Because I mentioned you that some situations organization, even though they formulated a very good sound strategy, but when it brings to it may be like totally fail. So then what kind of a problem and issues faced by strategy implementation by many organizations we are coming to discuss, and after that we are coming to discuss actually successful implementation of a strategy, what kind of activities required to uh, concentrated and well planned the implementation also by managers. Then you know that throughout our business strategy course, we follow the Johnson and Schuler's uh, strategic management model. Then here, very first lecture also I introduce. Then after having decided our vision, mission, goals, objectives for an organization, it is reflected strategy direction. So, I mentioned you that before formulating a strategy is what it needs, strategic analysis. This is a external environment analysis. This is internal environment analysis. This is stakeholder expectations analysis. Then after that, we have to identify strategic choice options. What are the strategic options? Corporate level, business level. And we evaluate and select the best strategy and bring into practice strategy implementation. Then today we are coming to discuss this circle element in managing the strategy. So we are coming to discuss strategic changes, structural changes, what kind of things we have to consider about, control of resources. At the same time, next day topic also coming under the strategy implementation, review and control. So I think this kind of a detailed model we introduce and practice in understanding the strategy, business strategy management in organizations. Now you can see actually this is the relationship between strategic management process, various steps. Now you know that this kind of a diagram I am explaining. So this kind of a diagram gives the overview. Overview this whole process of managing the strategy. Whole process from formulation to implementation and review and control, how they each element is related, influence, we are coming to discuss. Now you can understand that when you understand this diagram in a vast overview, you can understand business strategy. Now you can see, I mentioned you that from third topic onwards, we discuss practical application of business strategy. Then initially strategy direction. We have to set the future direction, vision, mission, goals, objectives. They are influencing what? Strategy development, strategy formulation, development or formulation. Strategy formulation, after having decided the strategic direction, what we engage, strategic analysis, and the results are synthesized. So a strategic analysis, just before I mentioned you that internal environment analysis, external environment analysis, and stakeholder expectations analysis. Then synthesizing the output, it in influence to strategy development. Strategy development is influenced by the results of strategic analysis and also vision, mission, goals, and objectives. To achieve them, then based on the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, we identify the or formulate the strategies. For an organization in a large scale, we formulate the strategies 4 levels. Earlier, I mentioned you that corporate level for the entire organization, business level, each business unit, and functional level, each business functions, like some organization, production, marketing, finance, HRM, R&D, then we can identify. And operational means the day-to-day, weekly, monthly, what kind of a strategies. These are the 4 levels. But I mentioned you that these 2 levels we are discussing at this postgraduate level. And after having developed a strategy, identify the alternative, what I just before mentioned, strategy evaluation and selection, the best strategy, then put into implementation. Today's topic related to that, and also strategy review and control. During the implementation and after having implemented, we have to review and control. So, strategy review and control, these are the broken lines. It means the feedback. Then, this feedback gives next time strategy development, past couple of years, which kind of a strategy is implemented and what kind of their success and failure. The feedback is very essential next time strategy development. Not only that, this feedback is very important strategy direction, how far we could achieve our objectives, goals, mission, and the vision. So, each and everything in an organization, strategic leadership is very important in setting the future direction, strategy development, strategy evaluation, implementation, review and control. Then in an organization, strategic leadership is very essential. Now you can understand the students very clearly then how strategic management process then elements interrelated. But actually, if you have the good understanding, this one, but you can recap the knowledge relating to each one. We have discussed the topics like these strategic analysis, 3 topics, strategy development, corporate level, business level, this topic, today this topic, and the next time this topic. So now you can see that this kind of a diagram, it provides the somewhat in an abstract way overview to the organization uh, overview to the organization managing business strategy. Yes, now we are moving to discuss strategy formulation or strategy implementation. I just ask you students, what is most important? I think you should interact also. What is most important? Strategy formulation or strategy implementation? Students, are you with me? Or you are engaging another work? Interactions are very important. Yes, students, you can unmute and also talk rather than, that sending the chat box. It is okay. Then one student say both. Both are important. Yes, both. The most of the students, then they are making the chat box, the messages like both. Yes, we will see that. Then a strategy formulation or strategy implementation, which one is the most important? Now we can understand that. Then we will see whether you answer correct or wrong. Then what is important? Then in that understanding this, we can, that, go to understand this model. Strategy formulation or strategy implementation, what is important? Then I think you give the answer, organization need both. Yes. Then rationale, you need to understand. Now the students in this model, I always saying that when you're understanding a graph, model, framework, logically understand. So this side, vertically side, they consider strategy formulation. Strategy formulation may be sound strategy, good strategy formulated. Flawed means a wrong, bad strategy or wrong strategy formulated. This horizontal side, strategy implementation, it also may be implemented in a good way. Sound means in a good way, and flawed means a wrong or bad way, bad or wrong way. Then this is the scale, and this is the scale. In order to that, we could find out the four conundrums, four cages. Now, we will see that green color. Actually, what is meaning? Interpretation. Good strategy formulated. Sound strategy. Sound strategy and implemented in a sound way, good way. Formulation, implementation. So, strategic success. A good strategy formulated and implemented in a good way. So that is the strategic success. That's why today also we are discussing a strategy implementation, how it could be succeeded. When come to this stage, what is the meaning? Good strategy, sound strategy is there, formulated, but implementation wrong. Then implementation fail, bad. What happened? Good opportunity miss because sound strategy, but implementation will not come right. So miss the good strategy, miss the opportunity. And what about this red color? Wrong strategy, bad strategy implemented in a bad way. Doom from the start. It means something like not successful from the beginning, sometimes maybe disaster. At the beginning also, at the beginning destroy or fail, totally fail this one, this strategy. And this is what? Wrong strategy, but somewhat in a best way, good way implemented. But wrong strategy. It is maybe like a risk, couldn't achieve the expected results. Now you can see, according to this diagram, according to this model, you can understand that organization need both to success. Good strategy, the sound way of implementation is needed. That's why most of the students, they gave the answer like a formulation or implementation is the best. I think most of the students say both, but one or two students say one student implementation, another student something like formulation, but majority identified that both. Then according to this diagram also, it proves that both are important. Both are important equally. Therefore, we are saying that a strategy formulation and implementation, something like two sides of the same coin. Strategy success required both successful strategy formulation, good strategy, and also successful strategy execution. That's why this picture shows that two sides of the strategy formulation and implementation are similar to the two sides of the same coin, equally important, equally important. You can understand that. That is the thing. We conclude both um, part is very important. Formulation and implementation, we can't say formulation is the best, we can't say implementation is the best. So then we can understand that in practice, then conducting some survey, why do organization however so struggle with the execution of a strategy? But even though both are very important, but in practice many managers, they are struggling with how to implement the strategy in a successful way. But supporting to that, conducting a survey, it is evident that 1 in 10 organization, when we consider the 10 organization, execute their strategies, implemented the strategies, one strategy may be succeed. It means 10% successful rate of organization execute their strategies successfully. Therefore, in order to this, 72% of us chief executive officers in different companies believe that executing their chosen strategy is somewhat more difficult than the developing good strategy. Sometimes in practice, some managers said that here also one or two students stated that implementation is the most important. But practicing managers also, they see that rather than the formulation, implementation is the somewhat difficult task comparing to the formulation. So you can understand that how far strategy implementation also very crucial, very important, because it determines totally success of the strategy. Then I mentioned you that before starting the discussion, starting from actually in practice, managers, which kind of a problems and issues they are faced during the implementation or then at the beginning of the implementation. So one thing is some organization leaders, managers misjudge the challenges, not correctly identify the challenges they face in the business world, or overestimate the organization real capacity, not a reality, something like they overstate estimate their organization real practices and capabilities, misjudge the challenges. So at that time it creates a problems and issues, strategy implementation, and select the best one. So that is one thing. Other one is a problem culture. You know that here at the implementation also I want to give the message culture is very powerful thing which influence to then strategy implementation. Organization culture may not match requirements of the strategy. At that time, strategy implementation may be fair. Strategy implementation may be fair, especially in the acquisition and the mergers. Two organization cultures are not matched most of the time. These two categories of that organizations may be collapse. Then other one is organization structure. The structure is consistent with people and the processes, may not capable of taking the actions required by the strategy. So then organization structure may not capable, sometimes not matching of taking the actions required by the strategy. That is happening. Something like we change the strategy, but not concerned about the structure. Strategy and structure should be aligned each other. That is very important. Today's session we are coming to discuss. And also other thing, staff commitment. That is the most important theme. The whole, then what about the staff? Their commitment, involvement, motivation, and resistance. So these things raise some strategy implementation problems and issues, but if they are okay, not any kind of issues. Then other thing is skills and capabilities sometimes may not match the requirements of the strategy. What kind of skills and the capabilities then the people have. So then they are not match the requirements of requirements of the strategy may be vanish. Then other one is it is obvious skills and capabilities. We know that when we are going to introduce a new strategy, um, it is very important the capabilities. Sometimes skills and capabilities. Think about that the automation. When the organization is going to introduce automation, what kind of skills and capabilities support to that? And systems and policies. When we are going to some situations, new systems and policies, then we have to assess that how far they are aligned with the existing resources, and then the skills and capability. Systems and policies also similar to that, and also financial problems also having as overall strategy implementation. Now I think you can understand that uh, what are the implementation problems and issues. But I would like to bring some, that surveys found out that these are some of the things you understood also based on the practical things. These are the implementation problems and issues arised. In addition, I would like to, that some other kind of a way categorization, the strategy problems and issues during the implementation. I can brought, but some are, that align with these. But you can see lack of clear communication of a strategy. That is very important. Then we have to concern about that. Then clear communication should be shared the relevant people. What that going to do. Inadequate leadership and top management commitment, then it will not be succeeded. Resistance to change among employees, yes, that may be happen. Something is going to start, then the resistance to change among employees. Poor allocation of financial, human, and technological resources, it is obvious everywhere. Misalignment of organization structure with the strategy. Misalignment is organization structure with the strategy, not aligned. Weak coordination, control, and monitoring system, not very effective. Are the skill and capability gaps among employees? It may be there are skills and capability gaps among employees. Organization culture not supportive of strategic goals. So these are the strategy implementation. Some problems and issues arise. Next, actually in the strategy implementation, what is important? Why we bother? What is important? Then how to plan the implementation, that is the very important. Before bring to practice, what are the all areas should be clearly mentioned, that the how to in future uh, plan the implementation. So the when it comes to concern about this, why we bother plan implementation. So, actual implementation. This area is actual implementation. This one is plan implementation, actual implementation. Other one is, that something we have to concern about, that actual implementation as a pursued by outsiders. How see the outsiders? So it shows that why we bother, that strategy implementation, well plan the implementation, actual implementation reported by managers, and the actual implementation as pursued by outsiders. So, however, strategy implementation success, these factors are very essential to, that enjoy the strategy implementation process. In a strategy implementation, actually, now you can understand that registration, the strategy formulation and implementation, both are equally important. Then content. What about the strategy implementation success? Content, strategic vision, plan, and implementation plan. So the success depends on processes. That leadership process, communicate the strategy, involve employees, people oriented, monitor and learn, hire and retain, the train and development. So these are strategy implementation. We have to concern about these things. And in addition to our vision, mission, goals, and objectives, other thing is we need to understand the context. Uh, Competent management, align the strategy and the structure, change the culture, strategy commitment, political interest, reward performance, all these three things together. Otherwise, it is somewhat difficult. Then you can understand the full screen, these two. And from here onwards, actually, we need to understand implementation, how to plan the implementation. Once we now selected the one best strategy to implement, Now then we need to understand implementation planning. It is a big questions. When we are going to, after having selected the good strategy, then we are concerned about uh, the other one. We answer these four questions. What must be done in future as a new product development? Who implement the strategy? How they are going to do it? When they are going to do it? There are four, uh, that understanding when we are going to implement the strategy, the big five questions we have to answer. What, who, how, why. Then planning for strategy implementation. After having, having with the detail the information, we can decide that which kind of a question require attention by strategy executors. Implementation. Then we can answer what is to be implemented. Then there are big questions. What? Who should implement a strategy? How they are going to do it? And when they are going to do it? These kind of a four big questions should be answered by the managers before formulating strategies. Now I am coming to discuss these things very briefly. What is to be implemented? Who should be implemented? I start from here. Who? Then next time come the what. Who should implement a strategy? You know that to successful strategy implementation requires all the employees' participation, but successful strategy implementation requires systematic, continuous, and rigorous, strong. Rigorous means strong intervention by top, middle, lower. All the three levels of managers should, intervene continuously to implement the strategies once they formulated, and to support all the non-managerial staff, all managers, non-managerial staff, then in the organization. Another thing is some situations, then the strategy is formulated by external resource person or the research agency, but representing, they should be participated when the once develop the strategy and bring into practice, because that person is having overall idea if we formulate this strategy how to implement. That's why then if involve, not always, if involve a strategy formulation external consultant or external resource person, then should be supported to the strategy implementation to well plan. And actually the task of a strategy implementation, on the one hand, sometimes the strategy implementation is failed. You know that strategies most often fail because they are executed at different time period. That is the reason once they formulated something, like after 2 3 years they are bringing to implement. That is not the success, because you know that today environment is very quickly changing. Then once we formulated, we can plan to implement because of the current environment. After having passed 2 or 3 years, but what we expected situation totally different. So at that time, when it comes to bring into implementation, it may be, that high chance to failure. Therefore, my different, the reason is mostly in organization strategies fail. Why? Then executed at different time period. Executed at different time period. By different managers, different time period, the different managers. That is one reason. Hence, things may not happen in the exact manner the top management expects unless the top management plan the implementation and gives continuous delivery. Therefore, once top management they formulate the strategies, at the same time they plan the implementation. So, giving the continuous support to bring the results. That is very important. Other thing is, in an organization, the top leadership cannot take a break. You know that is a very, very important formulation, and after 3 4 years, then they are bringing to implementation. It is not the good way. So the top leadership cannot break. Once they have finalized their strategic choice, select the best strategy, then the bigger challenge is walking the talk and delivering the results intended by the strategy. Once we formulate a strategy, it is very good in, that the expected time period they bring into practice implementation, bring into practice the implementation. Then the meaningful and realistic strategic change can only come from, actually, if needed, some strategic changes, well thought, concerted, and timely execution is very important. Timely execution is very important. The task of strategy implementation. Then a strategy implementation. What must be done? In a strategy implementation, what must be done? That is the most important, because when we are going to implement a strategy, then we have to concern about these things. What about which kind of a program? Program is a collection of activities. Actually, once we develop a strategy, when it brings to implementation, we have to decide what kind of activities. So it means the programs, then the budgets, financial budgets and other kind of a budgets, procedures and activity schedules we have to decide and bring into practice. That is very important. What must be done? Then, in what must be done? Managers in organization, then divisions are there. Various divisions, functional areas are there: production, marketing, finance, HRM, research development. Then functional areas work with then the fellow managers to develop needed programs, something like a diversification strategy, new product development strategy. We prepare programs, budgets and procedures to that bring into practice what are needed, and getting support from the divisional managers, functional areas and other fellow managers. Then they prepare that programs, budgets, procedures, policies, etc. Then what is to be implemented? You know that what is to be implemented means programs, detailed plans prepared to make a strategy action oriented. When strategy bring into practice, what kind of a programs? The new product development. Then initially needed what? The product design. Then to product design, what kind of activities involved? Budgets, needed budgets, financial, human resource budget, and other kind of things. A detailed description of fund allocation, a new strategy like a financial budget. And procedures mean details of the various activities that must be carried out to complete a program. Sometimes when it brings to implementing the strategy, procedures, the relevant procedures we have to develop. Then what must be developed? Programs, budgets, procedures, rules, regulation, all these things included. The budget. Now, I'm not going to talk about your accountants, accounting degree. You know that. What about the preparing budgets? A budget is, that a statement of a firm's program in terms of rupees in a financial term. So then we had to calculate the cost of implementing the strategy. We have to plan somewhat well thought. The strategy become impractical only after specific. We have to see whether this chosen strategy is practicability or not. But some strategies are they are formulated, but it is so hard to bring into practice, not a practical aspect. Organization, power and politics also we have to concern about the preparing budgets. You know that in practice, preparing budget for different activities, something like a power and politics, they are influencing. They are influencing. Some conflicts may be happen. As a result, some kind of a negative things may be happen. Then procedures. What I mentioned you that budget, program, procedures. You know that procedures are the system of sequential steps or techniques specified to perform a particular task or job. Therefore, new operating procedures needed. We have to develop, stabilize, carry out the strategy. Now you can think about that some kind of examples. Then think about what about practical example, and what kind of activities, programs, budget, procedures we have to develop. So I am, that explaining this example. Think about this example. What about this example? I am taking the strategy as a new product development. Strategy is a new product development, a strategy. In an organization, they formulate new product development as strategy. In new product development strategy, some activities are there, programs. What about the programs? We assume that initially conducted the market research, because which kind of a product? Market research, getting the that information from the customers. So after that, the market research, the information, product design. Other main activity is design the product design. Then other one is, after having designed the product, produce the product, what it needs? Test marketing. Initially, test the market, whether it is accepted or not. These are the three programs. Assume that what is to be implemented. What is the strategy? Involve main activities. They are identified as three programs. And when it comes to here, this is a red color, market research. This red color, I am taking this one. Conducting market research. What kind of activities? So, procedure 1, procedure 2, procedure 3. Doing a market research, procedure 1 is what? Design the market research. How to do it? Design market research. One activity. And what about? Collecting data. Design the market research and go to the field and collecting data. Field or social media or whatever thing. Then after that, what happened? Data analysis. Then gather data analysis and write a report. Then when we concern about the collection of data, what are the activities? These are the program, these are the procedures and activities. Activities, that conducting a data collection, select a group. One activity is select a good group and also train them, because training is very important, how to collect data. And after that, provide the facility to data collect. Necessary facilities should be provided. Necessary facility and collect data. Now you can see something like, that before implementing a strategy, we have to properly design. Then the programs needed, procedures needed, activities. In detail also we can identify. In order to that, we can, that carry on these tasks. Then I think you can clearly understand, as an example, new product development and what are the programs? Market research, product design, test market. Program design, what about? We need to collect the data. In order to that, we can, that apply market research. Then the collection data, data analysis. So when it comes to the collection data, how to do it? They select a group, train them, and provide facilities and collect data. So now you can see like this way. Then organizations, they concern about that. Once they have formulated a strategy, then put into practice which kind of a programs, procedures, activities we scheduled it. We scheduled it. That is the very important thing. After that, how is a strategy to be implemented? That is the most important thing. How is a strategy be implemented? Strategy be implemented. How to organize? Then in theory, it discusses that McKinsey's 7S framework. In theory, the developed framework is there to success the strategy implementation. To success the strategy implementation, very, that famous framework is McKinsey's 7S framework. So, strategy implementation, this is a central part of strategy. Strategy should be, that matched to the staff, should be matched to the structure, should be matched to the values, shared values. Strategy should be matched to the required skills, styles, systems. So this is the 7S framework provided in Avidya. When strategy brings into practice to success, then this kind of a 7S framework you can adopt it. Can be adopted. Now the 7S framework, the important unique feature is every word is start, S. That's why 7S framework. You can see that 7 S's are there. They align each other. Then something like a 7S framework. Then McKinsey's 7S model. How we can apply to understand strategy implementation. Now, these are the 7S's like structure, systems, style, shared values, skills, staff. So, these are the 7S model. The hard elements are factual and easy to identify. They can be found in corporate plans, organization charts, and other documentation. In an organization, what about the elements? Then how that found out the corporate plan, organization charts, and other documentation. Then 7S's, these are hard. Out of 7S's, hard 7S's, one is system, another one is a structure. Then the formal and informal procedures that supports the strategy and the structure. Systems are more powerful than they are given credit. So we have to concern about that, how we address the system. Therefore, system should follow the strategy. System, they follow the strategy. Other important thing is strategy implementation success is structure. The biases for specialization and coordination influenced primarily by strategy and by organization size and diversity. Structure should follow the strategy. Then every time structure should tally with the structure, tally with the strategy. Otherwise, it will not come right. Then strategy and structure, always a structure should follow the strategy. All structures should follow the strategy. Structure should follow the strategy. We have to concern about that strategy and the structure. Then I'm not going to talk about, because when you come to this level, some management knowledge should be there. Unfortunately, in your program, management is not there, but we are producing management graduates. Like, that employees, something like, that they have not come, but it is somewhat difficult to get in the knowledge. Then that's why I ask you, students, you need to have understanding different structural types. The different structural types. Actually, in theory, suggested that when you studied the management also, then you understand simple structure, functional structure, divisional structure, product, process, customer, geography. That is the way process, then divisional structure, metric structure, network structure, and the team structure. Now, these are the structural types. Then when someone, that met with some kind of a thing, understand that my organization, the structures like this way. Then the strategy structure should be matched. Then as an example, structure should follow the strategy. Chandler's proposition. Chandler said that structure should follow the strategy. Not the strategy, structure should follow. However, these are some of the theoretical understanding. Strategy should be adapted. Strategy to be adapted. In product development, strategy structure, then cost leadership strategy, structure differentiation, strategy diversification, all these different situation. But product development strategy structure much more suitable product structure or product functional metric structure. Second one, cost leadership strategy structure, then functional structure, function process metrics, team structure, product customer structure, team. Then the diversified structure, divisional structure, holding company structure. So now you can see that what kind of a strategy we have to adopt and what is the most effective type of structure. So structure should follow the strategy, and Chandler's proposition we can, that identify strategies and structural types. Then you know that when we are going to apply the McKinsey's 7S framework, when we are going to apply the McKinsey's 7S framework, you have already known the 7 S's here. Then some are soft skills related, some are knowledge. Then you know that the soft elements are difficult to describe since they are continuously developing and changing. They are highly determined by the people at work in the organization. But it is not much read. However, these are we considered as that considering other various kinds of things. Another thing is structure and systems. Both are addressed, structure and the system. The soft, that elements in McKinsey's framework, difficult to describe. They are continuously developing and changing. They are highly determined by the people at work in the organization, the soft skills. Then how apply style, staff, skills, shared values. So I have given the very brief introduction. Then what about the style? Style means what? Leadership management style. In an organization, when they are going to introduce a new thing, we have to consider about the which kind of a style leaders, managers do rather than what they say, where they spend their time duration, where they allow and what they rewarded, the style. Skills, distinctive competencies. It is very highly needed with what the company does best way of developing or shifting competencies. So this is a style, skills, structure. Earlier talk about that. Staff, shared values. Then you know that a staff, the people. The people, human resource management, ways of shaping the basic management principles, processes used to develop managers' way of introducing new employees and managing careers, socialization process. We have to concern about the staff also. And shared values means the culture. The culture of the organization consisting of the dominant values, beliefs, and norms, which develop over time and become relatively enduring features of organization life. So I think the staff shared values all are the same. That understanding and also other things, the shared values. Then you know that aligning business strategy with corporate culture. That is a very important thing. Aligning business strategy with corporate culture. Students, I am giving a 10 minutes break because continuous talking somewhat. Yeah, here one student asked metric structure. because I thought of that not discussing these things because that knowledge you should bring. Simple structure, function, based on the function, division wise, product, process, customer, geography. Metric structure means something like some organizations, they are engaging in, that three different projects. So the large number of information should be shared and monitoring is needed. At that time, metric structure based on the nature of the organization and the other kind of things, we decided metrics. The chairman is there. We assume that chairman. And also, what about four functional managers are there? Production, marketing, finance, HRM. So metric structure means then there are three projects carried out. Under here, there are three coordinators. Project A, Project B, Project C. Likewise, each project having the serving the things. The structural types. Network structure, obvious today technological advancements. Team structure. Now you know that metric structure, then the project coordinator A, project coordinator B, project. Then under each functional area, there are people. They are supporting to this information and all that. This kind of a structure is called as a metric structure. I think a student, if you are unable to understand today, many sources are there. You can address to that, enhance the knowledge. This is practical example most of the time projects. When projects are going on and more information needed, they apply the matrix organization structure. Yes. Now next on we are coming to discuss here aligning business strategy with corporate culture. Okay. Now in discussing this one, I would like to give you a 10 minutes break. Then the 8:15 I start because continuously talking it is somewhat difficult because of my sickness these days. So can you have the 10 minutes break? And after that I will continue the session. Please, is it okay? 10 minutes break. Then after that continue and discuss the case analysis and presentation. Students, is it
Okay,
okay?
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, madam.
Yeah, then that's why your reply. Then have the 10 minutes. Students, now we are continuing. Then I mentioned you that strategy and structural types we discussed. Now you can see that it is suggested that in a strategy implementation, you can understand that the strategy and the structure should be matched. Otherwise, the strategy may be fair. So, for that, some examples, it is suggested that when we are going to product development strategy, then the suitable structure is a product structure, product base, and or product functional mix structure. And cost leadership. You have studied like, I think, business level strategies, the cost leadership strategy. So at that time, functional structure is and the functional process metrics structure is suitable because this kind of a structure minimize the cost. Because cost leadership means the giving the standard product somewhat in a less price. Differentiation, when the organization they are producing the product differentiating. At that time, team structure, differentiate products, the one product to differentiate, team structure or product customer structure. They are very important. And diversification strategy, divisional structure is suitable. Like, you know that these are some of the propositions, then different strategies, the suitable structures mentioned here. Then I talk about that McKinsey's 7S framework structure and the systems are hard S's, hard S's. All these are soft S's. Soft S's are changing. Soft elements are difficult to describe since they are continuously developing and changing. They are highly determined by the people that work in the organization. Style may be changed, staff, skills, shared values. Then they are not the hard. They are soft skills. So in the strategy implementation, these soft skills also are very important. Then style. What about the leadership style? You know that something like a team structure. Leadership style is democratic. Then the people-oriented leadership style. Then at the same time, skills. Some different strategies to skills, distinctive competencies. What are the company does best? Ways of developing. Now you know that the automation strategy. The skills are very important. Adapting to the new technology. So likewise, some strategies, the soft skills are very important. Staff also soft skills, they are changing. Then the people, human resource management, the needed human resource, ways of shaping basic values, process used to develop managers. So in for implementing a new strategy, what about the human resource needed? The new employees introducing and managing careers, socialization process, all these are very important related to the staff. Another thing is actually here taking the S character, shared values means it refers the culture. To take the S, write like this way, but it refers to the culture. When we are going to implement a strategy, culture and strategy should be matched again. The culture of the organization consisting of dominant values. You know that every organization has its own culture, including values, beliefs, norms, which develop over time and become relatively enduring features, stable features. Once a long period of time when organization they operate, then very strong culture is established, including values, beliefs, norms. Then time to time they are, you know, that develop, and it makes something like stable features of organization life. So now you can see that soft skills are very important in a strategy implementation. But when I come to the culture, culture is a very important factor which contribute to successful implementation of the strategy. Therefore, I little bit discuss the culture and the leadership. So aligning business strategy with the corporate culture is very important. Therefore, actually in organization culture means it is like a operating system of like a computer has an operating system. Similar to that, culture functions like an operating system of computer, thereby providing definite process environment for operability of strategy. When the strategy is going to be implemented, culture is like operating system. Operating system. The whole goal for aligning business strategy with corporate culture is to ensure the components of active culture within the organization would facilitate seamless operability. Actually, good culture, matching culture is there. No need to make much efforts. Then the culture support to the strategy successfully implementation. Therefore, we say that culture should follow the strategy. Then organization culture should match with the strategy. Then the team culture, team structure, team something like a new product development. It needs the team base, then the structure, then the culture should be matched to that, the team culture. So like that way. Therefore, we are saying that interactivity of culture. Actually, culture and strategy should be matched, should be together. So we say that culture how force impacting a strategy. Some cultures optimum action provided. It means a very well match with the strategy. Sometimes culture good action. Some situation average, poor, inaction. So these situation it is very difficult to implement the strategy. then the strategy may be fail. Then culture bring the poor action and the inaction. But these things somewhat support to the culture. Then optimum, good, and average. But these two situations, then something like badly affect to the implementing a strategy, not matching to the culture, not supporting the culture. That's why poor action and inaction. Then the not supporting culture. Then other one is, you know that in the world, why does culture matters in a strategy? Important. People are loyal to culture. You heard about that. Some situations are there. Employees, they love to the culture rather than the strategy. Then some, you know that we can identify that and heard about the stories. You heard about that in the world, Southwest Airline. Then the low cost air prices, Southwest Airline, a particular period of time. You heard about that Southwest Airline. Then their strategy is a low cost. Then low cost strategy, it means, you know that uh, then they always try to minimize the fuel prices and all that. But a period of time, lack of fuel in the world. ලෝකේ තෙල් හිඟයක් ආවා in Sinhala. So at that time, the Southwest Airlines, their cost has gone up because the oil prices has gone up. So at that time, then the company couldn't, that maintain their low cost strategy. Then we heard about that employees are highly loyal to the company. Then they work several months without salary. It means people are loyal to the culture, not the strategy. So therefore, culture is a very powerful. And culture provides resilience in tough time. Earlier, I mentioned you that in oil prices, lack oil, then at that time prices has gone up. Then how the culture resilience to face that tough time. Culture is more efficient than the strategy. But we want to show you that when the culture and the strategy, culture is more powerful. So if there is not a matching culture to the strategy implementation may be fair. Then the culture creates a competitive differentiation. Different organization has a matching culture. It makes something like a differentiation. When a strategy culture colloid means conflict. Strategy kai culture kai ගැටුනොත් culture will win. It means the culture is more powerful. Strategies can be copied, but no one can copy the culture. Actually, any competitor can copy the strategy, but can't copy the culture. Strong, vibrant cultures that are vision guided and value driven. You know that very vibrant, strong cultures, vision guided, values driven, create high level of performance because they attract and keep talented people and they inspire employees to give the extra mile. So then culture is very important part in the strategy implementation. Therefore, managers, they analyze the culture and understand that this culture is matching to the new strategy when it comes to implementation. So cultural analysis focused on identifying the key components of culture. What about the then the culture and the ascertainment of resultant alignment with strategic intent? How far match strategies, policies, business development? So you know that, but you can understand cultural web. This is a cultural web. The culture. What about the values, beliefs, norms, power structures, symbols, stories, rituals. Then all these are cultural website, the components. Then we have to analyze by managers and understand that how far culture support to the new strategy. Then you can heard about that culture. It is very important. What about the merging situation? Merging strategy and acquisition strategy. You know that organization, some strategies are merging, acquisition. So these two situations, what about two companies merge, acquire? Two companies' culture should be aligned to each other. Otherwise, a strategy may be fail. Therefore, assessing a strategy culture compatibility. This is the way managers should compare how far culture match with the new strategy. Initially asked, is the plan a strategy? Now we decided and we are going to plan to implement. The plan a strategy compatible with the current culture. Yes, not a problem. We can implement the strategy. No. What we have to do? Can the culture be modified? If culture is not matched to the strategy, we try to, what about modify to make it more compatible with the new strategy. If yes, then again coming to here, is management willing and able to make major organization changes if it is okay the changes, but culture can't be modified. No, what happened is management is still committed, again try, but not come right, culture will not align with the new strategy. What happened? Formulate a new strategy. But this side, we try to change the in manage around the culture by establishing a new structural unit and implement the strategy. Then at that time we can implement. But you know that is management try and try committed to implement the strategy, find a joint venture partner and contract with another company to that carry on the new product, or we can go for new uh, formulate a new strategy. Now this is the way we can assess the strategic culture, how far compatible, align with each other. Then I mentioned you that mergers and acquisition. These are very important situation. Culture is very powerful in implementation. All mergers and acquisition attempt to align purchase cultures, not businesses. Result are not purchase ability to continually achieve the same results. That is most attractive to investors. Therefore, you know that KPMG, they found out that 83% of all mergers and acquisition, what about? Fail due to the culture. Proceed any benefit the shareholders and over the actually destroyed value. They unfortunately found the overwhelming cause for failure is what? People and the cultural differences. Then according to the that findings KPMG, they found out that 83% of all mergers and acquisition fail. Then therefore then we have to concern about that the people and the cultural differences when we are going to formulate and implement the strategy. We are talking about now implement the strategy. It is very important. Then other thing is I would like to discuss something leadership. To success the strategy implementation, leadership is very important. Leaders are people, you know that, and know with other establish direction. Leader is a person who set the direction, vision, mission, goals, and objectives, then mobilize people. That maybe they mobilize people, captures resources, captures resources. And create an adaptive learning culture to move toward. Therefore, strategic leader is the ability to make what implement consequential decision about what? What about the end? End means objectives, goal, mission, and the vision. Actions are, that activities. Which kind of activities? And the tactics are, that strategies. These kind of that things we need to understand regarding a strategy leadership. Strategic leadership plays a vital role in strategy implementation. So what is strategic leadership? Strategic leadership is basically the combination of a leader having all the basic leadership elements. He or she should have all the elements and being able to strategic thinking in action. That is the most I'm thinking, different way of thinking. That kind of a thing should be added, the existing experience. Strategic leadership refers to a manager's potential to express strategic vision of the organization, a part of the organization, and to motivate and persuade others to acquire that vision. So the strategic leader should have a vision. Then the strategic leader is influencing to implement a strategy in a best way. Therefore, today role of a strategic leader, especially in the strategy, managing the strategy also, strategic leader is able to anticipate change, what is going on here, that kind of a, that a skill. Then other one is articulating. What about the articulating means create vision, mission, goals, objective, create direction means vision, mission, goals, objectives. Then other one is aligning. What about the connect with the people, create condition of for success, remove barriers, establish trust? How do we make it happen? Assuring means focused on result, hire for technical and cultural fit, teach the organization very important factors, make an assurance. Anticipating means organization POV point of view, the result focus, the strategy, that enhance the knowledge and skills. Assuring, focused on result, hire for technical and cultural fit, teach the organization, then the point of view. This is a POV means point of view. Point of view. Ask how do we make it happen. So anticipating means when I mention you that here aligning to make things assure, then these kind of things are role of strategic leader. Then a student's successful strategy implementation, what it needs? Soft elements. The McKinsey's 7S framework, soft elements. The style, then staff, we identify some soft skills, staff, then style. We can identify that what about that in the McKinsey's style, staff, skill, shared values. So these things we can concern about that how develop and matching to the then a strategic leadership, anticipating. Then successful implementation, all the soft elements and hard elements ultimately what? Should support all hard and soft element. All 7 S's should interactively work together, support the implementation of strategies. All the 7 S's support, then interactively work together, that supporting each other, very important. Then the strategy implementation, that you understood problems and consider a traditional conception and strategy implementation. There are many problems. So managing a strategic change is very crucial strategy implementation. At the same time, how overcome the resistance. If there are some kind of a, that organization, even simple thing is going to introduce to the market, huge resistance. Therefore, very important, encourage, participate in strategy formulation. Most plans do not represent the interest of stakeholders. Adequate training and awareness would also help to overcome resistance, explain the merits and the demerits of proposed changes. Then, actually, strategy implementation, training and awareness, some strategies, automation, training and awareness is very important. Then they encourage participation in formulating strategies, provide ideas are very important. So these are something like some ideas given managers they have to concern about in strategy formulation. Then change, strategy implementation, is there any changes to introduce, maybe like a structure, maybe like culture or other part we have to concern about. And also actually consultants idea, they said that when strategy implementation 9 factors should be considered. Strategy implementation success, 9 factors. This is a consultant's point of view. Strategy execution based on their experiences, appoint competent management, strategy implementation. Then use people management skills. Then the deal with political behavior. Sometimes we have to deal with who are the people influence, power, that practice. Then develop an execution plan, good plan. Then after that, align a strategy and a structure, culture, create culture awareness, provide leadership, good leadership, then communicate the strategy, then monitor and what about adapt the execution. So these kind of a 9 factors are very supportive. Then the experiences and the consultant's point of view to successfully implement the strategy. Therefore, students, from here, strategy implementation is over. Now, is there anything to clarify? You can ask me. Now I am explaining the assignment. 20 marks allocated for this, other 20 marks going for your strategic forum. It is already over. Now, I want to get the case analysis presentation. You have to analyze the case, and 15 or 20 minutes presentation should be done, oral presentation. So I want to decide the dates also, because I can't get in a one day, because I think many groups are there. Today participating, it means around 70 students. I think maybe 100 students. So maybe there are so many groups. I want to, that uh, day by day working 2 or 3 hours, then I will take the presentations. But that I want to clarify the case presentation. Um, then this is the guideline. Uh, then groups are required to select a case. I am giving the case, you have to select, because now then I would like to distribute the cases, because otherwise all the students select the same case, but it is not a good way. Then select a case, given case, analyze and make a presentation, oral presentation. Then produce a PowerPoint presentation and make a oral presentation. Soft copy of the presentation should be submitted through an email to the course lecturer before the oral presentation. Presentation time should be 15 to maximum 20 minutes. Not going any 1 second also 20 minutes. The presentation date will be end of the lectures and exactly notified. The assignment carries 20 marks. Group size should be earlier agreed to 5 to 6, but if you like, you can increase also, because otherwise I can't take the all presentation. You can increase something like 6 to 8 also, or 5 to 8 also. Then these are the things, given case, you have to do. Then based on the selected case, given the introduction, which kind of a, that organization, given something like a history of the case. And what about if you could identify vision, mission, goals, and objectives from the case regarding the organization, and you can also the goals, objectives, these should be, that very briefly presented. Discuss how this company serves its stakeholders. If there are information, how this company time to time they serve stakeholders, and identify the company's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, because you studied sort, and core competencies, core rigidities, unique strategic capabilities, competitive advantages. Then these things you can identify from the case, and discuss the company major key competitors. Who are the competitors? And intensity of competition of the industry. You can do a Porter's what about five forces model application, industry competition, and competitor analysis, strategic group analysis. You can apply your other analysis. Discuss the current strategic problems and issues, what the organization faces based on the information given the case, and identify and suggest some kind of a suitable corporate level and business level strategic options you should recommend for the company to future to success. So these kind of a things, this is only a guideline, but if you feel that you can add much more in your analysis of case, then limiting to the time period. I think now you have understood that what I expect from case analysis. Then I think the coming Monday or coming Tuesday, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, Monday, I will do the strategy review and control topic. After that, we will finalize actually when you are going to make the oral presentation. Okay. Then now I want to show you the cases. But I think a very first day, I mentioned you that you have to form the groups. Students, yes. Now you can ask some groups, then representatives are here. Representatives, you can select the case. Students, I think very first day I mentioned to you how to form the groups. Now I think strategic forum also you are having the groups. Now please, then I am giving the group number and also giving the case. Otherwise, I will give you to select you. Sometimes most of the few cases you select. Student, now here there are students, but I am giving a chance to select the case study. The group representative are here. Can you see my folder, students? Then these are the case.
Yes, madam, it is.
Yes,
Yes, it is visible.
yes.
I'm from group C. I'm select IKEA.
We
IKEA
already
case.
have our groups.
Sorry?
We already have our groups.
Yes, yes. Tell me. Group C. What about
Uh,
Putha? IKEA.
Yes.
IKEA.
Right. Group
Okay.
S, we will select Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson. Yes. Group S.
Uh,
What about the others? Only two groups they selected, Group C and the Group S. What about the others?
Madam, we are group A. We will select Walt Disney.
Walt Disney. Group A. Walt Disney.
Madam, we are group F. We are select Apple Link.
Apple Link.
Hello, madam. We are Group D. We select Walmart.
Walmart. Yes.
Madam,
Yes.
we are group N. We are select McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Madam, we are group J. We are select Sara Fast Fashion.
Sara Fair. I don't know how many groups in your batch because sometimes
90
19.
groups. 19. Yes.
19.
Yes.
Yes, then I have only the 10 cases. Then any group can, two groups can select one case. Otherwise, it is so difficult to distribute. No 10 cases, 19 groups are there. It means, you know, that two groups can take a one, you know, that case. Otherwise, I can't because I don't have 19 cases. Yes. Now you can... Now, IKEA, Johnson and Johnson, Walt Disney, Apple Inc., Walmart, McDonald's, Sara Fashion selected.
Madam, we are group E. We will take McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Madam, we are group M. We are taking Google Inc.
Google Inc.
அது அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கணும் தானே. நீங்க இந்த கார்ட்போர்ட் எல்லாம் அந்த அவங்களுக்கு சகரமெல்லாம் இருக்கு. நாங்க தனித்தனியா பிரித்து வச்சிருக்கெல்லாம் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கலாம். சகரமெல்லாம் கொடுக்கலாம்.
Okay.
Madam, we are
Yes, Putha.
Madam, we are group B. We are taking Global Wine War.
Global Wine War.
Madam, we are group H. We select Walmart.
Yeah. Now Walmart selected two groups, but not giving to one more group. Okay. I give the chance to two groups select the one case study because of the lack of cases. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 groups they have identified their cases. But you said that 19 groups. There are 8 groups. Are they not representing here?
We are group I. We are select IKEA.
Okay. Group I. IKEA.
Madam,
Yeah, IKEA also now selected 2 groups.
Madam, we are at group L. We are selecting Google.
Google. Now the Google also, that selected 2 groups, IKEA, Walmart. Now the students, after having selected your case and all that, I will give the Kalhari to upload the LMS, the guideline and the cases. Okay, Kalhari will upload in today's lecture material also. Then you can access to your selected case and you can read and prepare for the presentation. 1, 2,
Madam,
3. Yes, Puta.
Madam, we are group O. We are taking the number 8, IKEA.
IKEA already selected 2 groups.
Then what else is remaining?
McDonald's there, Apple Link there.
Then we will select McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Excuse me, madam. Group N and E selected McDonald.
N and the E, yes, we can't give. Yes. Johnson and Johnson, nobody taken. And the Apple Link also 1 group selected. Johnson and Johnson 1 group selected. Sarah Fashion 1 group.
Madam, we are group Q.
Uh,
Can select Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then the group O, you have to think about the Apple Link also there. Any 1 group can select. Sarah Fashion also can be selected. Then the remaining cases are Apple Link, Sarah Fashion, and Global Wine War.
Madam, we are group number G. We are selecting Apple Link.
Apple Link. Okay. Now 15 groups are selected, but O group not yet selected. Okay. Walt Disney. Walt Disney also available. Not Walt Disney, Sarah Fashion, Global Wine War. Then only 1 group selected.
Madam, we are group O.
We
will select Global Wine War.
Global Wine War. Okay. $16 groups. I think other representatives are not here, but you can have the cases like Sarah Fashion and Sarah Fashion, any other. Cathay Pacific, nobody selected. Cathay Pacific available, the airline. Cathay Pacific, Sarah Fashion. These 2 available. Google Inc. also there. These are the 3 cases available. Remaining 3 groups. Google Inc., Cathay Pacific, Sarah Fashion. These are the 3 cases. Actually 16 group they have already selected. 3 remaining there. These 3 remaining groups, you have a chance to Cathay Pacific, Sarah Fashion, and also Google Link. Okay. But they are not representing today, I think.
Madam, group K have taken the Cathay Pacific.
K Cathay Pacific.
Yes.
But there are two more groups. I think, I don't know whether representatives are here or not, any member.
Madam, we are group P. We select Google Link.
Google Link. Now, another group can be taken, Cathay Pacific, only one group taken. The Cathay Pacific and the Sara Fashion. These two cases are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Actually, only one group available. According to your, that information, 18 groups. They have selected the case study. But you mentioned that there are 19 groups. So one more group has to be selected. Nobody.
And Madam, group G have taken Apple Link.
What about the group?
Group G, Apple Link. Group I, IKEA.
Group G, Apple Link.
Yes.
Earlier you selected.
I think yes, it is
Yes.
selected from
Apple Link you selected. Group G and IKEA. Why you are saying again? Available cases are Cathay Pacific, one group only selected. Sara Fashion. Available Cathay Pacific and Sara Fashion. Then the one group is there, two options, cases, but they are not representing, I think. Then any group representative here, the all batch group representative, you ask the remaining group to select Cathay Pacific or Sara Fashion.
Okay, sure, madam. I will let them know.
Putha, who you are? You are the batch representative. What's your name, please?
Yes, I'm Ruin.
Ruin.
Yes, RUWIN. Ruin.
Ruin. Okay, I will contact you. Then you have to decide next day. Tell me when possible the case presentations. But I have to take like 3-4 days, taking 2 hours, because otherwise I can't complete those 19 groups. But other way, if you wish, you can, that video and upload the presentation. Which one is you are more preferable?
I will discuss with our group members and let
one thing
madam
is you can video the case analysis and upload. Otherwise, you can make the oral presentation. Then I am taking. Okay, not physically. Yeah, I can't, that take all the time taking the physical online. Weekday also taking 2 hours, something like 7:30 to 9:30, like that way. 3-4 days I have to take in the oral presentations. Okay, 2 options you will convey to me your convenience way.
Okay, sure, madam.
Okay, now the students, if you don't have anything to ask, I will wind up the session. Then good night to all you.
Good night, madam.
Okay.
Good night, madam.
Madam, thank you, madam.
Okay, you are welcome.